From time to time, I get some really funny and really interesting ideas for what if videos, though it's quite a rarity, but this one comment had me in stitches. I don't know why, but just the idea of it made me giggle so much. The comment reads as follows. Can you please make a what if the top 7 of season 7 did a revolt and the first 7 eliminated replaced them? So, basically. If you don't remember, in Season 7, right after Max's elimination, the top 7, consisting of Ginger Minj, Jaden Dior Fierce, Katya, Kennedy Davenport, Miss Fame, Pearl, and Violet Chachki, were given a hint that an eliminated queen was to come back. Jokingly, in the next episode, Ginger, I think, said something along the lines of, if the 7 eliminated queens walk in, we should just protest or quit. Or something along those lines. So let's say they do. Kennedy wins the mini challenge first, then Rue reintroduces the 7 eliminated queens back into the competition, and the current top 7 all quit out of solidarity for the one queen that would go home and be replaced by someone who had already been eliminated. The production is paused for the day, and they choose to bring back Jasmine Masters, Candy Ho, Max, Mrs. Kasha Davis, Sasha Bell, Tempest de Jour, and Trixie Mattel. Since we are talking about the top 7, the conjoined Queens Challenge is obviously next. So we're starting with the episode with the John Waters Challenge, aka the best Drag Race challenge of all time. The Reading Mini Challenge is present in this episode, and as Trixie originally did participate in it, and did win it, she gets the win here now again. Also, I just don't think that any of the rest of the queens could do better than Trixie. Maybe Tempest or Kasha, but I don't know. So I feel like we all know how the girls would pair up here. Tempest and Kasha are an obvious pair, as are Trixie and Max, leaving Jasmine, Candy, and Sasha as the odd threesome. Obviously, the last three would get the Pooh song, or what was it called? Like the devil angel thing. Then I feel like Tempest and Kasha would get the Cha-Cha Heel song, as it's more physical comedy, and from their social media and their performances, they do kind of lean more into the physical comedy side of comedy. Trixie and Max as a pair, I think, would be the most theatrical, but I also don't think Max would completely lean into the John Waters-ness of it all, because it's just so vulgar, you know? Jasmine, Candy, and Sasha, well, you could imagine how probably bad they would do. With the runway being the ugliest dressed runway, and in the least rude way possible, I don't think any of the queens would have problems with the runway. Based on guessing, obviously, I think Kasha and Tempest would be the best pair, but I gave the win to Kasha, just because it would mean more in the long run for her to win this. Trixie obviously did well enough to be high, whereas her partner Max is just safe. Out of the bottom 3, I left Candy as low, just because her performances in previous performing challenges were always better than Jasmine's and Sasha's. Thus, in the bottom 2, Jasmine beats Sasha, let's say. Assuming that Jasmine knows the lyrics to Really Don't Care by Demi Lovato, which I do somewhat doubt, but I'm going to keep that assumption out of this. Episode 10 is the dancing episode. The mini challenge is the make a fake housewife tagline, kinda, sorta, I don't know. Out of the 6 contestants left, I'm sorry to say to some of y'all, but I think Trixie would do the best. We know that Jasmine isn't really cut out for Drag Race, which, mind you, does not mean that she's a bad queen. Drag Race is not a reflection of someone's talent completely. Candy was shown as not really having much personality nor comedy chops in the season, and to Max, yet again, I might be redundant, but vulgar. Kasha, I think, could do a good job too. Tempest maybe as well, but I think Trixie is the safest bet here. With Trixie winning the mini challenge, she gets to pick her pair for the dancing challenge, and as it is the dancing challenge, she absolutely picks Candy. And then, as Tempest and Kasha had already worked together, Trixie probably leaves them together, though I think she knows they're in for a hard time, leaving Max and Jasmine as the third pair. Let's get right into the obvious placements. Candy and Trixie win, while Jasmine and Max are safe, leaving Kasha and Tempest in the bottom 2. I think Kasha would beat Tempest in the lip sync. Hello Kitty challenge is up next. This episode also had a mini challenge, the Puppets mini challenge, because everybody loves puppets. This time, I think Kasha wins it. Now why? Well, it's between her and Trixie, realistically, and Trixie winning her 3rd mini challenge in a row wouldn't make much sense, right? Since this is a design challenge episode, I think the placements are, yet again, quite obvious. Firstly, the winner is between Max and Trixie. Now, the Hello Kitty, like, really pink and loud aesthetic the most queens did for the runway, you would think it would translate well into Trixie's style. But Trixie herself has said that she had toned down her aesthetic during her season because, and I quote, she had wanted to win. Plus, with most of Max's looks being muted tones or straight up grays, her in pink would probably wow the judges enough to give her the win. Out of the rest, I think Kasha could make something okay, but not spectacular, so she would be at a comfortable low, leaving Candy and Jasmine in the bottom two. And obviously, Candy beats Jasmine. In the top 4 episode, I can make an argument for 2 queens leaving. But before we do that, let's look at the PP scores for all of the queens this season. I did not know if I should count Kennedy's win in episode 8, because in my mind that episode went, well, as I said, Kennedy wins the mini challenge, the 7 eliminated queens are reintroduced, the top 7 that was there before quits, and then we continue the episode as it being like the John Waters episode. Meaning that Kennedy did win the mini challenge, but she did not stay until the end of the episode, so it doesn't really count as a full episode, so I just divided her score with 7. I don't know, it's a little murky, but I think we can all kind of agree that it works, maybe. Who knows? Anyways, as you can see, Max, Kasha, and Trixie are the clear top 3. So they could be the 3 that advance into the finale. However, knowing what we know now, that the production wanted to crown a younger, more relatable queen to the audience, as they believed you could only relate to people that are close to your own age for some reason, we could see Kasha being dropped. Either way, the winner would be between Max or Trixie. Trixie does have the best PP score out of the top 4, due to her mini challenge wins and Before the Return being in less episodes than Max, but Max has more wins overall, and she was an integral part of the first half of the season. So we are looking at a Trixie or Max win in this season 7. In one of these cases, obviously, Trixie does not compete on All Stars 3. Kennedy also does not compete on All Stars 3, and Katya and Ginger are not on All Stars 2 because they kinda sabotaged the production of the show with their quitting after episode 7. Now, who could be Miss Congeniality? Well, assuming that the production would not give that title to one of the original top 7 queens because of the aforementioned reason of sabotaging the production, the Miss Congeniality of the season could be Sasha Belle, Tempest du Jour, or Jasmine Masters. Jasmine was not liked by the fans during season 7, though a lot of that came from the fandom's racism, so I don't see the fans voting for her. Sasha was not really that popular, so I guess Tempest is the Miss Congeniality of the season. Sure, why the hell not? And that's it. That's the video. Just telling you this up front, the next video is going to come out a little later than usual. There won't be any videos on Drag Race Canada as I have not seen the season, which you would know if you followed me on Twitter. Will I see the season in the future? Maybe. But for the time being, there won't be anything on it. Though, from what people have sent me about the season, I see they crowned a queen that hadn't the best track record, keeping with the tradition of every first Drag Race season. Spin-offs included, but excluding All-Stars. Though, All-Stars more than enough made up for it by its later seasons. Anyways, thank you for watching.